Okay.
Great. Well, welcome to the debrief call for our last whole body reset, 11-day whole body reset. And I was starting off by saying that we're just grateful for all of you. We're grateful for all of you who have decided to show up in a different way, to kind of willingly do something that's transformative and take a risk on that. And that's the biggest thing, you know, the 6 inches between our head, and we have Donna here who's going to speak a little bit to that as well, is that that's the biggest kind of hurdle we all have and face, is just kind of getting past ourselves and our own emotional state. So I just want to say that, you know, I want to congratulate everybody who went through the process, no matter if it was a complete 11-day and you felt like you knocked it out of the park, or you stumbled and tripped and fell and got back up, or maybe didn't. But hopefully through the process, you gain some things physically, you gain some things emotionally, spiritually, and just your ability to understand kind of how this can work and how you can discipline yourselves to do something a little different. So I just want to kind of start there. Honey, you want to say something, and I want to let Donna say something as well.
I think you covered it. I just think it's really amazing. I think everyone, those who have done it before or who have started to do it now and the first time, kind of have seen what's possible and what can happen and what, you know, kind of changes in your body and your mindset and everything. And there's the dogs. And also just people who haven't reached their, even what they thought they would accomplish this time and all. It's a journey. I mean, some of us, I mean, Rick had an amazing transformation this time. I mean, he, you know, down.
I'll share a little bit.
Yeah, down quite a few pounds and reducing body fat. Me, not so much. I didn't have the greatest one this time. So, you know, but it's just kind of, it just puts things into check, and it just allows people to not have that thing of it's either, you know, success or failure. It's the journey. It's really about doing that. So I want to.
Yeah, and introducing Donna, just to say we're stacking. You know, this is like a stacking process. It's a marathon process. We didn't get to the places we were prior to this if we weren't in the best physical kind of condition we wanted to be in. So this is kind of a stacking, doing.
I can't hear you over the water or whatever.
Can you hear us?
Yep, can still hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I guess you guys. So, but it's a stacking process, and it's a marathon, as Tasha alluded to. This is, and I'll share a little bit more after Donna speaks, but we have something that other people don't have access to. So Donna, I really would love for you to share from a professional standpoint, kind of the mindset and passion, you know, what's going on. And Jason, and just so you, Ariel, know that you guys keep coming off of mute. We muted you, so we muted everybody, but you guys kind of popping in and out of mute. So Donna, take it away.
Sure. It is, first of all, I'm very grateful that you've asked me to be a part of this in this manner. Mindset is one of my passions. I have many, but it all starts with our mind, no matter what we're doing. No matter what we're doing, whether we're doing an 11-day reset, or it's how we show up for our job or our family or any situation. And so going through something like this, some of you it was your first time, some it was not your first time, so you had a little bit of experience, excuse me, but it's how you control the thoughts in your head and what you say to yourself before you even start. You know, are you going into this and thinking, well, I'll give it my best, but if it doesn't work out, I'll just, you know, eat whatever? Or are you going in saying, I'm going to do this no matter what? And should you stumble, what do? How do you pull yourself back up? How do you say, it's okay, you know, there's grace. Give yourself grace. But if you set out to do the best that you can, which is how we should really tackle life, right? Doing the best we can all the time. But if you're someone who in life doesn't follow that path, then you may have a bigger struggle doing this. So it's really about just being conscious of how you approach this, what you're saying to yourself, how you handle the tough moments, because there are tough moments, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. When you do something like this, it shows up in all different ways. So it's how you really challenge yourself to go through that. And I was following along. I was on vacation, so I wasn't online a lot, but I did read the posts. And some of the things that you posted really touched my heart. You know, how you move through the pain and the discomfort, how you reacted when you had a tough day. So those are the moments that you hold on to know that you can do this. And if you're doing the next cycle, what can you do better? What can you learn from this one that you can take into the next one so that maybe you have different results? Maybe you go into it and have a different experience because you know better. So life is about building blocks. And each step you take, you're building on what you've done before. You know, be proud of yourself for, first of all, saying yes to joining this, because that in of itself is a victory. And just be proud of yourself for moving through this process. And you've got the best coaches in the world with Tasha and Rick. And they're so wise. They've been doing this a long time. And they know the ins and the outs and what to do in those hard moments. And I'm available for you no matter, you know, mindset. You know, I have a lot of other pieces to my arsenal. And I just know that you're amazing. And if you didn't do this exercise tonight before you go to bed, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, and mean it, because each of you are amazing beings and deserve to be loved, and it starts with you. So congrats on finishing this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next cycle. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Donna. I mean, you so just resonated everything that we feel and believe in and all. And that's the biggest thing. The message is it's the journey, and there's no, you know, kind of failure at all. This is just building blocks and all that. So I think that's amazing. So
What's great about this too, on top of that, is I just love that we have a community like here that's supporting one another. I mean, where can you find a community that, and I stumble, I'm a human. So if I make mistakes in terms of my coaching style and so forth, you know, I'm human, but our intentions are really uplifting and getting people to their best self. I mean, that's my personal goal. I know Tasha wants that. We may go about it different ways, but that's the goal, is helping people get to their best self. And this community, I just love it every time, and it grows with more people and more positivity. So it's fabulous.
So I think, do you guys, Beth, you want to share a little bit about your experience this time, and then Jason, Ariel, Allison, you can all.
Sure. Don, I just first want to thank you. And I hope I said it to you, but if not, after our first Zoom meeting before going into this reset, I shared with Rick and Tasha how much I appreciated you setting an intention for this, because I think setting an intention and really challenging us to do something that was very out of my comfort zone. And I didn't do it every day, but I did it a few times. And it's amazing how just even having eye contact with yourself in the mirror changes the perception of or for me, I can only speak for myself, how my perception, it changed my perception of myself and my connection to myself. And I felt very connected to myself during this 11-day in a different way than I have in the past. So thank you for starting us off that way. I really am so grateful. I had a really good experience. I had kind of lapsed back into some eating habits that weren't so healthy since the 11-day I did 2 months ago. So what I learned from this reset was how much I need and want to incorporate what did you just say, Rick? I have to look back at my notes. Like the discipline of reminding myself how I feel, how I want to feel, and that what I put in my mouth greatly affects how I feel. And it was a great reminder of how good I can feel. And so going becoming more and more reinforced to me. This is how I want to feel. This is the energy level. This is the focus. This is the reduction of my muscular joint aches and pains that I have experienced again during this reset. And the last thing I'll mention is that I am not doing the reset to lose weight, but to more maintain where my weight is now. I lost a little bit, but again, just how I feel and also succeeding during the cleanse. And I was defining success as sticking with it. Like, at the end of both day ones, I'm like, okay, here's the head talk. I'm starving. First of all, I'm not starving, okay? If you put me outside without food for a month, I'd still be there, right? With some hydration, I'd make it. But, so the head talk is like, no, I'm not starving. I'm feeling hungry. Does that feeling come from my head or is it real? And do I want to push through that or do I want to give in? And both times I said, I want to push through this. And by day 2, I wake up, I'm like, I'm not hungry. It's the morning. I went another, 8 hours and I'm not hungry. And it's like, this is so cool. And it just, I need to keep doing this to reinforce how strong that mind-body connection is for me. And that, that it's, the more I do it, the more I can make choices. And for me moving ahead, maybe this is jumping the gun a little, but this is the last thing I'll say. For me jumping ahead, I've decided that I really want to alternate and do at least one shake a day, either for breakfast or for lunch. And I love the bars. I'm like totally addicted to the lemon bars. So like today I was on the run. I'm like, I don't have time to do anything. And I'm like, I grab a bar for lunch. It was like, yes. So at least one shake or bar a day to replace a meal. And on alternating days or every 3 days, I'm going to do shakes for 2 meals. And I feel like that's going to keep me more in feeling the way that I want to feel, and also not allowing me the room, if you will, to lapse back into poor eating habits.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, I think first of all, congratulations on your successful separation from Ben and Jerry, your 2 buddies. Right? I think we've got to celebrate that. But I think, Beth, you have pegged it with, this being your 2nd or 3rd time to do this, that you are now transitioning into a maintenance that you are creating, because this has actually taken the guesswork out of how you want to feel and where you want to be. And now you can tailor it to how you are living your life. So that this is like success to the nth degree. That's awesome. That is so cool. Yes, absolutely.
All praises.
Yeah. Allison, you want to go next?
Okay. So I always like these 11-day resets. I stuck to the whole 11 days, no problems. I didn't have the same exact success as I did the last couple times in terms of losing weight, but I was able to stick with it the whole time. And I'm glad I was on it. And I, like you had said, it's not all about necessarily losing the weight either. It's just about following the protocol of it, which I think is super huge and super important.
Cool. And I think also for you, you have been using these products for, I think, going on 3 years now. So it's part of your life already. And you jump on and you do these great resets. And then, like you were saying to me over text, or when we were talking, that you bumped into someone you knew and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you look amazing, and of course that always sounds good and all. So, but again, also like Beth, Allison, you're most certainly in a place where you can tailor it to fit to you. But if you like the structure of every, once a month getting on the 11 days with us, hey, I love that,
Oh, I totally like the structure. I need structure in my life.
Yeah.
For more reasons than one.
You and I, we all do, don't we?
And so I do notice, and I don't know whether it's and I don't know how to figure this out. This time was an interesting adventure or an interesting situation that crept up for me, which I don't necessarily know that I need to share in public.
Okay,
But
well, we can always talk about it offline, so no worries
yeah,
at all. Yeah.
but it was yeah, all in all, it was good. I run out of, I have enough for a day, I think, or not even, or most day of the cleanse powder.
Mhm.
And my next round of stuff isn't up until the 10th of September. So
Okay. Well, oh, well, you know you can always place an order in between. You don't have to wait. You can pull your dates up. Just go into. I can show you how to do that when we get off
okay,
this call. But let's move on.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So Jason and Ariel, can you guys chat? Were you able to share?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're in the car, so just wanted
Okay.
to make sure. Yeah, so I thought it was great. I didn't have too much trouble getting through it and doing the shakes, the cleanse. I did have 2 days where I was completely like just lethargic and tired, didn't have a lot of energy. And so that was a little concerning because I was like, wait, I thought I was supposed to feel better. I thought I was supposed to have energy. And I didn't, so we had the e-shot, but I didn't feel like I wanted to substitute caffeine for just another form of, caffeine or energy. So I didn't take the e-shot at all throughout it. So that was, and I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly now if it was a cleanse day that I felt bad or shake day.
I remember it was early on because you had said you were a little tired. It was early on, and I always attribute that to your body just kind of adjusting to doing something different,
Right. But other than those 2 days, I mean, I pretty much felt fine. It wasn't, I mean, the cleanse days, that second day was really tough. But otherwise, so Jason and I both plan on doing the reset in September. I could definitely see myself doing this like every month. Because I just like the idea of kind of resetting and definitely sort of purging my body of all the sugar and toxic stuff that, we sometimes eat. And it has helped also just, just made me more cognizant of what I'm eating on the days that, since we've been off of it. Like, do I really want that key lime pie that's right there? And how much of it am I going to have? And, so it's also kind of changed my mindset in terms of what I should be eating or not eating.
Totally. And Ariel, you also said we chatted about hitting a goal. So I would love to connect with you one-on-one offline and just talk about what that looks like and how I can support.
Sure, absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought, this is Jason. I thought it went well also. Didn't have much problem staying on the regiment. For me, I know it's supposed to be a 9-day, but that 11-day where you guys use 2 shake days to kind of just allow us to descend into the cleanse days without being totally shocked, I think was very helpful. So I appreciate that you put that into the program. Beyond that, I thought some of the food and snacks was good. I thought some of it was just okay, but all of it was edible or good enough for me to not have a problem with consuming it. For the most part, I felt fine the entire time. I might have had a couple moments where I felt lightheaded, but they were passing, and therefore I'm not sure what to attribute them to. Beyond that, I did lose almost 17 pounds. In that 11-day period, I did not work out at all, so that was a big shock. I was not expecting that.
Men, so unfair.
Like I said,
right?
Like I said in the chat, I attribute that to 2 things. One, guy, I'm happy it came off easily. So all in all, I'm looking forward to doing it in September. I've already kind of told some of my other big guy friends about what happened, and they're interested as well. So we'll see where we go from here. But overall, I'm happy with the results.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's so great, you guys. And this group was, it's bigger. Quite a few of us couldn't come on today. I know Genevieve was coming on, but it's dad's birthday today, so totally get that. And we have to, I want, we had like people have different results, good, bad, some, and that's just how it rolls. We're all human beings. We're all different. Yes, you have to share your results. I love doing it. I fell off a little bit here and there, I have to be honest this time. And sometimes when we're doing it as often as we are as the coaches, it's kind of like, okay, but Rick really, and which is why I love that we do this together, because I am, all over the place kind of one, and he is just so focused and structured, and it shows how anybody can really get to their goals no matter how you're going with it. The journey is just a little bit different. And I get what Ariel, what you were saying about being, and Jason, about what you guys saying hungry the first time, because honestly, it took me, I think it was almost 6 to 9 months before I had a successful 2-day cleanse when I started Isogenics years ago. It's a different story now, but yeah, so I always say it's just that thing, but I want you to share your results.
So I'm the ultimate nerd when it comes to this. Tasha and I have been using this for 7 years, 7 years. And I always go through phases where I just love having the access to this, and I'm gonna go a little deeper into that, but also I test it. And so we've done about 6 of these thus far, I think 5 or 6.
6.
And out of the 6, I've probably participated in 3 of them, 3 to 4 of them. And I just wanted to test it because I'm 6'3", and I came in when I first started this, and I've hovered around 210, 215 throughout the 7 years, which I've really enjoyed. But I've always told myself, my playing weight in basketball in college was 195. And I've always talked to Tasha about getting to 195 and what that feels like, and testing this system and this protocol to see if what you can accomplish. And the good thing is, the good news to me is that you can maintain, as many people have talked about, just kind of maintaining a stasis that they feel good in. But then there's those people who really, if they want to test this and go to the ultimate in fitness, can do it. So I was able to, in these 3 cleanse, in these 3 processes, to get down to that 195 level, to really kind of get to under 16% body fat for the first time. And I'm 56 years old. And that's not a lot of folks in my age group who have that. But what I'm inspired to do is to hopefully communicate that it's possible and doable, and you should probably give it your best shot, because we only have one life to live, guys. We really do. We only have one life to live. So why not, if you're motivated and willing to do something about it, because that's what it takes, we all go back to mindset, then to test it in a way that works for you. 2 things happen with Isogenics that they really kind of hone in on that nobody else does. And I'm gonna do a deep dive for a second, is that nutritional density and intermittent fasting are protocols that are amazing, that they're designed for the body to be at its best. John Anderson, just to let you guys know, the guy who founded this company, has been doing this for 40 years. He's created over 2,600 different products for 600 different companies. But what's important about this is that he walked away from work because companies started to they started to bastardize his formulas. They wanted to put ingredients in that he said were not the best ingredients. And he decided to create those and cut those ties with relationships, because his integrity is about no compromise. We don't treat, diagnose, or cure anything. But John Anderson, just so you guys know, he's been awarded in Congress some honors and I think a medal because he actually created MREs for the military at one time that they thought were the healthiest military MREs the military's ever had. He has a way of creating botanicals and that nobody else can do. I like to say he's the most eccentric guy, lives in Arizona, has a farm with some exotic animals, giraffes. He loves studying meteorites and dinosaur fossils. And he's got a collection of exotic cars and motorcycles. And he loves his wife and family. I mean, that's who this guy is. And he loves to formulate. That's all he's been doing for the last 40 years of his life is kind of in that niche spot and doing things that other people can't do. And what I found, and Tasha and I know a lot of people who are associated, affiliated with Isogenics who are up the chain. And some of you have met some of them. Peter Greenlaw, for example, some of you have been on his calls. Peter Greenlaw sat at the foot of John Anderson for many years and learned so much and has communicated stuff to us and another guy, Dave MacArthur. You know, guys, we have what is the closest in terms of pharmaceutical grade nutrition that's possible. If you look at what we do, the shake is designed to put incredible nutrition in your body, macro level, micro level with the fats, sugars, carbs, and the ingredient and the amounts necessary, vitamins, minerals. The intermittent fasting protocol is meant to really kind of help with appetite reset, because everybody has usually an appetite reset. Your cravings change, your amount of food that you want changes. So it's a protocol that is not a supplement. This is actually food technology that is amazing. So I just want to do a really deep dive, and there's so much more. For those who would like more information, I have access to it and can send it. But it's a technology that is nothing like if people say Herbalife, Advocare, any of those other companies, they don't compare because those are true supplements where we have a food technology.
And that too, and just to add to that, what I find is amazing and very fascinating is John Anderson being as successful and he's got money also. So
he's a billionaire.
He owns mines that have minerals there that are not available anywhere on the planet except in our products. So the other day I was talking to a church group and telling them about the 11-day, and they asked me, they said, well, you used to be with another health and wellness company, you guys know which one that is. And, how's this different? And, besides the obvious supplement versus meal replacement and the fact that, it's just different kind of, I told them there are no bad companies, like bad. I mean, this is all better than what you're getting over the counter, and there's good ingredients and everything. But the simple thing is, I mean, just the way John Anderson creates it, but we also have these minerals and minerals are what's lacking in our food, and we have them here, and that's not anywhere else. So that's completely proprietary. But I thought
so moving forward, and also in certain terms of thinking people of what you'd like to do next. Yes. Obviously, we have the next 11-day coming in September. We'd love for people to bring folks to this if you can, 1 or 2 people or more people, because again, I'm really looking for people who are searching for that answer of nutritional and health resets, who really want that. But also from a financial standpoint, we'll talk a little bit about that. There's that piece of it as well. But people who are really looking for that reset now, especially boosting their immune systems, COVID's here, hopefully everybody's kind of being concerned or having those conversations about, can I get to better health? And then can I get to my best health? It's like we saw, it's stacking, it's building blocks, as Donna said, it's that baby steps. So if you can find people, we'd love to have them with us. If for those who, as Beth said, customizing things, you can totally customize things the way you want to. I would recommend having 1 shake a day. And this is from another expert who's been at the feet of all these scientists we have, who say that 1 shake a day, within the first week of just doing 1 shake a day, you help to alkaline the body. And for those who understand disease, when you have an alkaline body, it's hard for a disease to live in an alkaline state. It lives in negative. That's why, acidic state. So and just within the first few days, actually, they say 3 to 4 days, so 1 shake a day is the minimum, which everybody should do. If you get 2 of those, you're having a meal for less than $3.
And we can help you guys with recommendations for maintenance. I mean,
absolutely.
Ionic Supreme is something I believe everybody should use, but we can talk about that.
Absolutely. I want people to talk about we'll talk about I'm talking about basics here. There's also a system that we have that, and I'm going to talk about one particular product that I've shared with some people called Isogenesis, which if you combine that with a shake, 2 shakes, 1 shake in the morning with Isogenesis, 1 capsule, 1 bottle, is about $164. I mean, it's about $165, but you're doing some things that people can't do. Isogenesis is a telomere support system, and nobody else does this. In fact, John Anderson has had the guy who's the scientist who's renowned and all. If you want to know anything about aging, and scientists come from around the world to Sierra Sciences to work with our scientists who helped us create Isogenesis, because he has the equipment that deals with the elements of aging, telomeres and telomerase, and being able to measure those things. No one has he's dedicated his whole life to this, another 30 plus years of doing this. This is a revolutionary product. They brought in other people who say they have telomere support products. They've tested them. They're garbage. It's garbage. Ours, and I have access to a video I can share with you all to show how this technology and what it's designed to do. It does 2 things, actually. It's designed to help telomere support, meaning the things that help keep us alive. For the first time in history, we're going to have kids, and already we have kids who are dying before their parents. I think there's a famous person who just, what's his name? Larry King just lost 2 of his kids to disease. And that's what's happening. This is the first time where scientists, and all this stuff is readable, guys. You can search this, Google it. I'm not just speaking out my side of my mouth. I do a lot of research, but we're sicker than ever, and kids are sicker than ever because they don't have access to good quality nutrition. So this Isogenesis, it does that telomere support, but it also, we've done a double-blind study, which I think I shared with Beth, about how it promotes an enzyme that helps to keep a force field around your cells. And it was proven in a double-blind study at Arizona State University when they did a double-blind study, placebo versus people taking Isogenesis. So nobody knew who took the Isogenesis. At the end of the study, there was a 15% increase in people who are older in catalase. Catalase it surrounds your cells and protects them, almost like Star Trek when he says, shields, Scotty, we need the shields. Turn the shields on, Scotty. And that's something that doesn't happen for most things that you have. And as we get older, we're more susceptible to things like cancer, all kinds of debilitating diseases. And those are reasons, and a lot of science points to the point that with toxicity, with the food, lack of nutrition in our food, and also with not having, and cells kind of, not being as strong over as we age, that's why people are advancing in these, even though we have the greatest technology in terms of science, we're still getting sicker. So that's just to highlight that one product. But as Tasha said, we have over 100 different products that people can use for a variety of different reasons.
So Jason, saw your message. Definitely, have a good evening. Thanks for hopping on. We will connect with you guys for sure.
And we're closing out kind of here too. So. And
let me just say before you jump off, a couple of action things I wanted to ask you guys is, one thing I need from you is if you would do a testimonial for our new flyers. So like just a sentence or 2 on your experience. And
I lost 17 pounds, right? I mean, what Jason.
Yeah, Jason said,
it's done. His is already done.
So that, and I don't know how you guys are feeling, but we had one of our previous 11-day resetters, Stephen Rabel, do a video of himself just chatting to people saying, I just did something, it was 11 days. He didn't use the word isogenics, which we recommend you don't, but he just talked about doing an 11-day whole body reset, how great he felt, how much more energy he had, how better he's sleeping, lost this many pounds. And he did a video and he put it up on his Facebook page, and he's getting a lot of, he's hoping.
Yeah, if you're interested, contact me
If
and I can
you-
tell you
yeah.
more, that type of
And
thing.
we'd love to put those videos up on our Wealth Through Wellness Project page too, on both Instagram and Facebook. So if you guys are open to that sort of thing, I have out of my comfort zone with video, but I'm working to get over and beyond that because I believe now it's the time. I know, Donna, it's all mindset. It's all mindset.
We're
But,
happy to do it.
Thank
Awesome.
you. That's awesome. But enjoy your evening, and I will connect with you, Ariel, and I know Jason
I've
and
already connected
you
with
guys
Jason.
are already in touch, and we'll talk to you about. There's another something I want to talk to you about, which I'm going to tell these guys, but this is being recorded, and I'll talk to you guys separate. Go do your thing and enjoy your evening.
Yep. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Have a great
See
week.
you guys.
You too.
So the other thing, just before, so those are the two things, the testimonial, the written testimonial for the flyers, and if you guys are open to doing a video would be great. I would love, you guys are, all three of you, I mean, Donna, you use what you use, and you're, Donna's pendulum decides, so.
But just want to touch base really
I'm gonna
just
use them
on the
online.
finance side really quickly, because, right now, especially in this economy, people are finding out that being an employee and even being self-employed right now can be tough. The beauty of the community that we have here is that we work collectively together to create the opportunity to make money as a community by people just utilizing products for themselves, not selling, but utilizing products for themselves and just sharing that possibility of what we can do. And when you think about right now in terms of making money, this is one of the areas that we're really, really good at as a company in this space. We're totally different from anybody else because we don't have generational restrictions and we don't have things that really curtail your ability to make money about this. So go ahead.
So, and those of you who know this sweet, wonderful man, and if you don't know him, you've got to know him, named Jimmy Smith. We call him Jimmy the Butcher. He's been with Isagenix
50 million.
for about 17, almost from the beginning. He came as a butcher. He's third generation butcher. He injured his back and went into network marketing. Isagenix was, I think, his second company or something. He was doing well, but he's made
50 to 60 million.
65, no, I just heard it. $65 million with Isagenix now. And he's 90 at this point. And he still goes up on stage. Allison, you've met him. We took you, yeah, you met him. So he goes on stage and goes up there with the Rocky theme and everything. And he has so simply put this thing. He said, if we all just make consultants, like literally two people, who really just understand the concept of using these products as a vehicle to then tell two people. If everybody just built a consultant, that would be Beth plus two. Beth, you are already a consultant because you have Bobby and you have Susan and Donna, you are already a consultant, but to just, but for them to continue that, if we all built consultants, nobody would be in a financial, it would just grow community-wise that way. Yeah. And that's as easy as it can be to explain to people. And that's really cool.
Because going back to the mental state, people are struggling financially because they're really, that stresses you out. So that by doing that, that's the beauty of what we do, is that it really literally can be two people who tell two people, the willing people who are willing to just share it. And we're changing lives also, which I love as a geek, physically, because there's nothing else out here that people have access to, that a company that's committed to the health and well-being of people.
Awesome. Yeah, so that was really important. And of course, we can go to 10. And that's great because you max out all sorts of bonuses and things like that. But it is really that simple. And we can talk more about it in depth. Hi, SJ. How are you? Good to see you guys. You guys are in California. I think you're either frozen or, no, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I see you now.
We were just wrapping up the call here. So
how did you guys do this time around?
Me, SJ, sorry, I missed the first part of what you said. I could only just join, as you noticed. we were on the road trip when you started, and then when we got home. So on our road trip, we went through Utah and Idaho, and in Utah, we found this amazing place to eat called Cafe Zupas, which is like kind of like a fast food restaurant, but all they do is salads and protein bowls and soup. So we did really well in between the two 11-day things. And Jamie lost another 10 pounds on the trip. And so then when we got home, we thought, well, we've done so well. Let's just join you guys. So we did. And we ended up starting the cleanse days a day late. But then on the last cleanse day, we did it at the same time as you. So we only had 4 days in between. But really good overall.
Awesome.
And we've got a lot of stress here because the fires. I'm sure you've heard about the fires.
Yes, I was just going to ask you about that. How are you doing?
Sure.
Well, the mandatory evacuation zone is about 7 miles away from us, and the closest evacuation warning is maybe 5 miles.
Oof.
But they're predicting more lightning, dry lightning today, so I'm edgy.
Yes, I
be
can
safe.
imagine. Well, thank you.
We
Yeah.
packed up all of our isogenic stuff all of it in our bags to go.
Good for you.
Part of evacuation protocol for sure. That's awesome.
So I'm driving back from work right now.
Well,
So thanks for hopping on, even though late, SJ, and I would love to connect with you more. And I have recorded this, so I'll send it out. I'll put it on our page so whoever wants to watch it. And we want to chat. We definitely want to get with you and
yes,
and Jamie, and maybe possibly have a Zoom call and
This
just
week.
connect with you together. But unless Beth and Allison, if you have anything you want to add before we call it, we just want to be respectful of your time. And Beth, I will be seeing you. We can either stay on or yeah, or we can.
Whatever you prefer. SJ, I just wanted to say good luck. My brother's in San Diego. I was on a call with him earlier, and yeah, he was saying in the north, he has several friends in the area, and I really feel for you, and stay safe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, please stay safe, you and Jamie and the family, and
Yes.
God bless you guys.
And
out in
April
California.
seemed to have a good experience as well. There were so many great other testimonials that we've been getting in. So we'll
Oh
share.
my Lord, I forgot to tell you, my daughter-in-law sent me pictures
Yeah, I was
this
going to
morning.
ask you. Please tell us, how did Bobby?
I don't think she wants me to share these pictures because they're literally like in her tiny little string bikini like this. But I mean, she looks amazing. And she said that she's really been struggling with like headaches and just like not feeling great around some of the foods that she eats that she really wanted to get rid of, namely sodas and a lot of sweets. And she really said it's really helped her a lot with her cravings. And we're actually going to talk tomorrow while Hunter's in preschool in the morning. So I'll find out more. But she sent these pictures and I was like, oh my gosh. So
Awesome.
Well, she's already so beautiful, but.
I know she's a beautiful person, but she feels really happy about her progress with this. I know that's what I said. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I would kill for a body like that. But
That's Brazilians for you.
oh my God, she's a funny story, Allison. So when she first met my parents in Florida 3 years ago, the only bikinis she had were, of course, buttless, right?
Right.
Where it's like, where's the bikini bottom with the butt, right?
I have one of those.
Not a Brazilian. And so she comes to my parents' pool and she's got like this cover up that's like real long. She wouldn't get in the pool. And later she told me, she's like, this is why I didn't get in the pool, but I didn't have anything else.
Wow.
That's so funny.
They're just those bikinis are great. I mean, I'm used to seeing them, so I don't really know what the big deal is. I mean,
I know.
Look at him.
So,
what?
God.
I have one of those. Mine's actually not quite as butt revealing, but it's pretty darn small.
Wow. Well, look, guys, we want to just thank you guys for taking time out on Sunday. We know it's a beautiful day. Know you're doing great things. You're doing great things for yourselves. And if you want to pay it forward by sharing it with someone else, you could be doing great things for them, both physically and financially. And that's what this whole community and Wealth Through Wellness is about. It's kind of up-leveling, uplifting communities, up-leveling and uplifting communities physically and financially, and showing them that this doesn't have to be, you know, nasty or strange or crazy in terms of the industry, in terms of making money with this, but it's just people helping people who want to uplift people. That's all it is. So we want to thank you guys, and definitely share for September 11th for the next one, because we want this to be just as big. I think we had 20 people in this one. We want at least 20 plus people in the next one.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
well, thank you guys. Lots of love.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
stop
Enjoy the rest of the
recording.
weekend.
Bye.
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 Bye.